ईमान फिर किसी का नंगा हुआ है, शहर में सुना है फिर दंगा हुआ है। वो एक पत्थर पहला जिसने चलाया है, ईमान बस उसी का ही नंगा हुआ है। What caused the Nagpur violence? Was it Aurangzeb's tomb? Was it the VHP Bajrang Dal protest? Was it a Hindu who caused the riot? Or was it a Muslim who caused the riot? Who pelted the first stone? Who burned the first vehicle? Who indulged in violence first time? These questions will now linger in Nagpur's air for days to come. But what if I tell you that the story of this violence was written way before the protest against Aurangzeb's tomb on Monday afternoon and way before the two groups clashed in Nagpur? Remember the शेर I cited in the beginning? वो एक पत्थर पहला जिसने चलाया है, ईमान बस उसी का ही नंगा हुआ है. And the first stone was sadly pelted by our politicians, our elected leaders who were supposed to protect us from such violence, our politicians who take oath of the constitution and yet defy the oath on every other day. Hello, my name is Tejas and you're watching Lokmat Times. In today's honest take, I will list 5 people indirectly responsible for the Nagpur violence. But before that, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update. So let's begin. First things first. When did this entire controversy over Aurangzeb begin? It started with the release of the movie Chhawa in theatres. The first culprits in this scenario are the director of the movie Lakshman Utekar and lead actor Vicky Kaushal. The duo portrayed Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj's life on screen but also ensured that Aurangzeb was vilified to an extent that people even started tearing off movie theatre screens. The film fueled massive anger against Aurangzeb. While Chhawa was a roaring success, making hundreds of crores, did you ever hear Utekar or Kaushal appeal to the public to ensure that their film does not become a reason for law and order issues? Movies do not correct historical wrongs. It is a filmmaker's responsibility to ensure that their art is not used for political purposes. But the makers of Chhawa failed to distance themselves from the political messaging. Instead, they capitalized on the emotional side of Marathi population, disregarding the aftermath of their messaging. Even now, when tempers are flaring, neither Utekar nor Kaushal have come forward to appeal for peace and coexistence. The second culprit is Samajwadi Party leader Abu Azmi. After Chhawa's success in creating anti-Aurangzeb frenzy, Azmi poured fuel on the fire. The Mankhur Shivajinagar MLA praised Aurangzeb, calling him an able administrator. He started this distraction from real issues. Despite the ongoing assembly session, inflation, unemployment and law and order were sidelined for a debate on a Mughal emperor who died 300 years ago. Just as Chhawa made Aurangzeb an absolute villain, Azmi turned him into an absolute hero, polarizing Maharashtra even further. The ruling alliance quickly seized this opportunity. Already under pressure due to issues like the Santosh Deshmukh murder, Swargate rape case and corruption allegations, Mahayuti leaders used Azmi's statements to divert attention. The third culprit in this saga is Satara MP and direct descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Udayamraje Bhosle. Last week, Bhosle addressed the media calling for a JCB machine to demolish Aurangzeb's tomb in Khuldabad. What Udayamraje Bhosle says matters. But he was also part of the previous UPA governments and NCP. Why did he not raise this demand back then? Why has it suddenly become an issue for him now? As a descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the same Shivaji Maharaj who built a tomb for Afzal Khan at Pratapgarh after defeating him, does it suit Udayamraje to demand the demolition of a tomb that nobody even glorifies? The fourth culprit and a usual suspect, Nitesh Rane. Many people, including me, fail to understand why Nitesh Rane continues in public life without any fear of arrest. As of March 2025, there are 20 FIRs against BJP MLA Nitesh Rane for hate speech, inciting violence and making derogatory remarks. On Monday, he told right-wing organizations, "Government will do its job, you do yours." What does this mean? Was this not a direct call to raise the Aurangzeb tomb? Nitesh Rane is a fisheries minister, not a demolition minister. Yet, he speaks on everything except his own ministry. His provocative speeches get a free pass. Who protects him in the government? And that brings us to the final name, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Fadnavis has repeatedly backed the demand to remove Aurangzeb's tomb. Even hours before the Nagpur violence, he said how unfortunate it is that we have to protect Aurangzeb's tomb. But I promise you, if anyone tries to glorify it, that attempt will be foiled. But Mr. Fadnavis, who is glorifying the tomb of Aurangzeb? If you truly want to remove it, Why not start the legal process instead of letting religious groups spread hatred? Your party has a government in the center. Your government has the power to delist the tomb from ASI protection under Section 35 of the AMASR Act. A simple notification in the official gazette, a 2-month objection period, and the tomb would be delisted. But do you want to do it? Or do you want to keep the pot boiling to distract people from real issues? The Nagpur violence is unfortunate. Riots bring out the worst in society and destroy the lives of those who have no stake in the politics of hate. It doesn't matter whether Aurangzeb's tomb exists or not. What matters is that peace exists in Maharashtra. Lokmat Times appeals to all residents of Maharashtra to maintain calm and not fall for any rumors. Do not indulge in violence. It would only help those who want to divide the society on the lines of religion. दुआ करो हमारा भारत फिर से महान बने, हर हिंदू विवेकानंद और हर मुसलमान कलाम बने। दोस्ताना कम से कम इतना बरकरार रखो कि मजहब बीच में ना आए। कभी तुम उसे मंदिर तक छोड़ दो, कभी वो तुम्हें मस्जिद छोड़ाए। मैं मुस्लिम हूँ, तू हिंदू है दोनों इंसान। ला मैं तेरी गीता पढ़ लूँ, तू पढ़ ले कुरान। अपने तो दिल में है दोस्त, बस एक ही अरमान, एक थाली में खाना खाए सारा हिंदुस्तान। That's all for now. Keep watching Lokmat Times for more such stories.